Welcome back, everyone. This is 41 Solstice 25, and welcome back to more Minecraft building with yours truly, 41 Solstice 25, or just Solstice or Sol. Minecraft username, Winter Solstice Day. Anyway, since last time, a few changes have been made, or sort of changes. This is the only actual change, really. Well, change specifically, like changing something that's already there. I should clarify. So I took someone suggested using cyan wool toward the Enderpearls in some kind of way. And I decided to just try the whole Enderpearl as cyan wool. And I think it actually looks a little nicer, maybe a little more vivid than the dark prismarine, although I kind of preferred the dullness of the prismarine. Like, made it seem a little more, like, old and such, but this is alright. I can I still have a thing for, like, vivid coloring. But that is not all that is different. Now, as you can see over here, we have a lot more land. And you also probably noticed right here, as I was showing you this, there's also some walkway going up. Now, some of you might be looking at that and thinking, this is a bit of an excessive walkway. Well, don't worry. It does more than just simply go up to there. It's going to connect to more places than one. Like, this is probably likely going to go around to the other side and maybe have like some place over here to connect to, or maybe like go down to like a spot here and there, one side to the other. I'm probably gonna like try to fill in a few structures. But yeah, I also expanded this back, and my god. I can understand where people have been concerned with whether I'm actually going to be able to finish this before my desired time to finish it. But I am confident in my abilities. I just need to set up a few things and then the sides will basically just come together. Let me put it that way. And then I have to debate if I want the back round or if I want it straight across. It might be too typical if it's straight across, so I might try something a little more rounded. But that shouldn't be too difficult because I know a few things that I can do. Let me put it that way. Like, yes, I can MC edit. But there's other tricks and ideas I have on my sleeve, and I have plenty of time, or so I like to think. Like, honestly, setting this in here on both sides, plus the bridge, stairways, not bridges, and recoloring these, and setting that back some. That was basically an hour's worth of time. That actually took a little longer than it should have, if I do say so myself. Mostly because I was trying to figure out what to do with replicating this kind of a stair step much easier and still easy to keep track of like how far up it's going and so on and so forth. I wasted probably actually 10 minutes trying to do one of these by hand, and I was like, you know what? MC edit. Oh. Then while I was at it, I decided I was going to add in more terrain to build the temple upon. So yeah, that's got some works going into it, and it is looking marvelous. Most dashing. Yeah. I was thinking, if I also set this up like this, you can also get all these different points of views of maybe something like this, or I can also set up all these individual floors to go from one place to another, or to check certain things out. Like, something I haven't exactly made, but I have considered, is like a spot to sort of like say your prayers or something at. Yeah, that's kind of something I want to implement. I just haven't exactly found a location for that. But yeah, this is quite the interesting project, if I do say so myself. I mean, from one side to the other, it's basically out of render distance. And let me double check something. 16 chunks. That's out of render distance. And then it goes all the way over there, likewise out of render distance. Oh man. This basically is its own map. Oh man. Let me think. 16 per chunk. So this is confirmed over 256 blocks that way and that way. Oh man, this is definitely quite a lot of work. I'm currently going over this with a calculator to double check some of the fuller math of what all this space actually is being. Like, both becoming and has been. Okay, multiply that by, like, 160 to be safe. That's a 10 million block space. Like, in total, assuming 160 blocks in height and 256 by 256, that's like 10 million blocks. 10 million point 5 more rounded specifically. It's like rounding up, but it's roughly that. This does not bother me at all. If anything, it makes me want to laugh and giggle to myself. It does not bother me. Because I'm mad. But no, if you didn't really figure that was probably the case, I'd have to question your sanity. Wait, what's wrong with you? How dare you not figure it out? But yeah, I'm crazy in my own way. Or at least I like to think so. Whee! It's so enjoyable. Something about making crazy large stuff is very fun for me. Let me just look at this. Just trying to capture it all in a single screenshot itself is pretty crazy. Like, ideally, you should be able to get 32 chunks, but I haven't figured out how that works. I'd love to know, though, how that does work. But yeah, by all means, there is still a bit of stuff to be done in this place, but I have actually put a little planning and thought into it. But I haven't exactly planned the whole design out. And we will get back to some more of that in just a second. Alrighty. So while off camera, I added a bit more to the end-based island for this. because if I'm going to set in more wall, I'm gonna need more island. And it is kind of boring work, but it is something that needs to be done. I've been playing with all kinds of like ideas and shapes and stuff to set through this to make it a little more interesting. So yeah, played with spots here and there, and yeah, lots and lots of end stone. And to clarify, this part is not world edited, MC edited in. Like, I know MC Edit gives you general shapes and stuff, but I don't normally use that kind of thing for this part. I actually set in the shapes manually. And by manually, I mean I'll like set something up and then I'll just sort of work with that. And it actually turned out pretty well. Now I'll just like switch back and forth from one section to another and give it a little more randomization, and that makes it a little more flavorful when it is put to use, and it turns out quite nicely, if I do say so myself. I really like how this is looking. It has like a pretty organic shape to it. Yeah, shape. The form of it, by all means, is not organic. The shape is, though. So yeah, that's a bit of a that's one thing off the agenda to get done, actually. This is expanded. Yeah, this is nice. This is definitely something I can work with, for sure. I still have not fully decided if it's going to be a straight or if it's going to be curved, but I'm thinking I'm going to be leaning toward curved. Just to make it a little more interesting, a little more snazzy. But yeah. Before I start going through any more of this video without actually placing many blocks, I'm going to at least situate something here. And plus, it's necessary, it needs to be here. So I'm not exactly trying to be like, oh, let's just place some blocks and I might not even necessarily use these or something. No, I'm gonna use these. By all means, I will use these. Maybe a little thinner here? Let me think. 1, 2, 3. Maybe. This is definitely where I'm going to have something else connect to through here. Exactly to what? I've said I've had like some ideas, but I haven't fully decided, nor have I really planned out exact places to put it. But for at the very least of now, we do want this a little more organic-ish shaped. Or at least more rounded, I should say. Organic would be like a little more messy, but because that's actually more of the term organic itself. Like, to clarify, organic doesn't really mean round. Organic means more natural. Like, say, a total blob. Like squigglies and stuff for edges. That would be more organic, actually. The challenge of that is making it look good if you're going to go with the organic stuff. So yeah. Now we want to do that to this side. As I recall, it was 3 like so, then 2, and I'm not quite sure what after that. I'd have to go back and see. I'd imagine that 1 is correct. Okay, 1, 2. I think that's about accurate. It might have been like this. Because I recall there being like a 2 there. Let's go check. Flying at the speed of Solstice. That was actually correct entirely. And it wouldn't be whole if only those were like so. Now that I think about it. Something I could do here is like put like a window view or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Just like look outside and maybe like see people down there or something. Or get a good view of the owl or the Enderpearl. Or whatever else is out there. You know, aliens. But we must not bother with the aliens for today. No, no, no. We are much too busy for that. We have a time where we want this thing built. And those aliens, they are chatterboxes. Let me tell you. You can't get them off the phone, I swear. I mean, have you not seen E.T.? E.T. Phone Home? Yeah, they're chatterboxes, alright. We can't we can't waste any more time on that phone, or else that phone bill will go way off the roof. It'll be insanity. I mean, I don't know how many people here have actually tried to get a phone call to Mars, but it gets pretty crazy. Ugh, that's a nightmare. Okay, man. Next thing you know, they're going to come up with like planet-based taxes. Like to the bill and such. Like a planet tax for like phoning in on like at another planet or something. Because that takes some crazy signal, so they don't really like that. NASA does not approve. You're wasting their resources. It's one thing if it benefits them in terms of like their research and proving life exists out there or something, but it's another if it's just, hey buddy, what's up? Just like phoning your friends, maybe send a text message or something. That just seems, yeah, it really is a waste of resources now that I think about it, but seriously, we must not get too crazy with those chatterboxes. We only get so many minutes on that thing. Okay, but on a more serious note, we definitely want this to be reaching to the roof. That is for sure. Speaking of a roof, I intend to be working on that more soon. Once I get more of these walls situated. Like, I wanted to get to it once I got to this, but now I'm having some second thoughts. Huh. So, what do I want to do about the wall over here? That is actually a good question. It's actually one I've tried to come up with a few things for, but I haven't really fully decided. Like, one thing I have promised myself I would not do is adding more of these over there or in there. And just like do this half-assed thing where it's like roughly the same thing, maybe slightly different in some parts, but I am not duplicating all of this over there. Just no. And quite frankly, that would be a little boring. And by boring, I mean it could be done maybe in a more engaging, something else could be a little more engaging. Like, that would, if I just replicated this over there and there, that would mean I would just have to rework where these go to and how they line up and such, and it'll just be annoying. So yeah, what's more so likely going to be the case is that I'm going to have this side and that side be very, very similar. In fact, they're going to be mirrored via MC Edit. I'm just going to sort of like build up one wall and then just sort of put it over there. Or just sort of like copy it over there, I should say. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for that. That's going to make a lot of it easier, and compared to this, it'll go a lot faster, I promise. Like, that's the main thing I want, is for something to go kinda faster. Like, it shouldn't be like something to really complain about, because it's not exactly too serious of a matter, because the front is basically the big presentation, and the sides and the back is supposed to be like the main outside supports and structure of it when it comes to buildings and houses in general. And then the roof is it's from the sheltering of it to the bigger picture of it. The rest of the house is like its characteristics and such. The roof houses it all, contains it all, and makes the big rules. Which is why I can't just simply place a roof. I need to figure out what those rules are. And a good place to start with that is I will also have to add in a doorway here. In fact, I'll actually have to probably complete these walls a little better. Let me just see what I was doing down here. Oh, for starters, let's get rid of the cyan wool from my inventory. Not that I dislike cyan, but I mean, I really do like cyan. It's a nice color. It's a gorgeous color. But I do not need it for the situation at hand. So sorry, cyan buddy. You gotta go. And welcome to Prismarine, and let's place some more of these pillars in, and do so on the other side as well. Just to make sure we don't miss or get confused on any of the steps. I mean, those of you who've probably been watching more videos that I've made and such, you've probably seen me get confused on certain parts that even I myself have done, and I would look back on my own videos and I'd be like, did I really make this mistake? Wow. Come on, notice it, buddy. Notice it. You're not noticing it. Well. So yeah, even I have my own moments that I catch on myself, and I'll just like rip on myself hard about it. I'd be like, how did you do that? Seriously, man? Seriously? I'll just be like, you are such a noob scrub or something. What the? Oh, right. That has the extra little thing there. Like, sometimes I don't always recall every single bit of detail that I do, so looking back at it is actually a good way for me to be a little more familiarized with like what I was doing and like silly little mistakes I might have made. So, yeah. Alrighty. So while off camera, I finished the rest of what was for these prismarine little pillars there going up. And then I sort of started on some of the walls going that way. On both ends, it's just really far out of the render distance. I swear it's there. And there it is. See? Yeah. It is formulating. All of it. Okay, I guess I can kind of get rid of the prismarine from my inventory. I'm gonna add another one of these and... But yeah, this is basically what it's been looking like for me for the past bit here. Hasn't been ridiculously long, but it has been boringly long. Like that's part of some of the startup stuff for like certain bits of structure and such. Like, or as I like to kind of call it, the fill stage of building. It can be kind of annoying to have to do, but to some extent it has to be done. It has to be like started, and there's a number of ways to continue the fill parts of building. Like commonly, that's what's the big thing for like extra tools of like creativity in Minecraft are for, like MC Edit and World Edit, because it is very, very grindy work. It is extremely grindy. And if you ever paid attention to the ratio of per second, how many blocks you place, and then just like use that in equation of figuring out how many blocks you need to place, then you'll realize it might take a little longer than you would really like it to. If you really want it done, sometimes it is actually kind of necessary to use the extra tools. Otherwise, you'll either do it by hand or you'll need a lot of help. And when I say a lot of help, I mean a lot of help. Because even then, with help, it might take from months to years to actually build some of this stuff. I mean, what did I say? This was like 10 million block rate area, or volume-wise. Yeah, that can be a while. Alright. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna end the episode here for now. I am Winter Solstice 841 Solstice 25, and no. Have a good day. Bye bye.